Hi everybody, welcome to your October 2023 reading. It's my pleasure to read for you. As you guys know, I'm so excited. Oh my god, I love I love doing this so much. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not going to nerd out right now, okay? But thank you for joining me. And I don't know if anybody else gets super excited when these monthly readings come out, but I get so excited. Because I'm just like, what's coming up? And I'm really, really happy to see what comes through. So I guess join me and let's see. You know, I always go back and watch the video myself, 2x speed, of course. Because I mean, you know, I'm out here. I'm busy. But I always go back and watch because the information is so pivotal. It's so appropriate. It's so accurate for me, which I love. So hopefully it's the same for you guys. And then I also go and I look at what other readers are doing, because I always like to, you know, I'm trying to live my life too, so I look for these things too. And I'm always so happy when I find that a lot of the people that I love and follow are getting the same messages. So I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy. So anyway, without further ado, let me get started. And of course, you know where to find me if you need. You can find me here. All my information's on the page that you're watching, or whatever website you're watching. And yeah, let's go. Let's go. All right. So I'm like, am I using cards today? I don't know. We'll see. We'll just go with whatever's coming up. All right, so let's jump right in. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting for the month of October, God bless you guys, is that there are some themes that are extending from the month of August into the month of October. There's going to be a lot of work going on for you in the yeah, I'm saying, look at my choking already. I'm going to say the throat chakra. I was going to say in the chakras, but they're like throat. So it's not just me having throaty issues. It's, you know, other people. As things are coming up, you're working on your grief, anger, whatever it is that's coming up for you guys. There's also going to be a feeling of being like a fish out of water. And the reason why, as just I looked up, it was like 2:22 turning to 2 minutes 23. So it's very significant that I just saw it turn. So this, and that's interesting because right before I saw a quick glimmer on my nail. And the reason why is they're saying you'll be feeling a little bit like a fish out of water because your systems are being tweaked in a sense. Whether that's going to be timeline jumping for some of you, it could be getting more clarity around certain issues. But the reason why we're saying tweaking is it's going to be taking place within your common environment. Okay, thank you. That was them coming in and making it very clear. Thank you. Like in your commonplace everyday life, you're going to be having some little phenomena happen that I don't want to go full out and say glitch, because, you know, it may not appear like a glitch, just like little things happen. You're like, huh? You might take a double take and whatnot. Those are reflections of the tweaking that's going on in your energy field. Okay. Thank you guys. 3 minutes 33 seconds. I also wanted to say that I'm feeling in the month of October as well, some chores, interesting, are going to be highlighted. So what are those chores? I'm getting like laundry, things like that, but it could simply be that there are other things on your list that need to be crossed off, whether this is about paying bills or making arrangements, doing car things, taking care of business. Basically, you know what, I heard that song, taking care of business. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, working overtime. I don't know if they say overtime, but that's the idea. Yeah, so taking care of business. Now, I'm seeing a little bit of, I don't want to say a collapse towards the end of October, about the third week, but it's almost like seeing something go down like that. If the month of October is like this, then it's like boom for some people, and whereas others it's like continuing on. Now, I don't want you guys to sit and think, oh no, what is this downward moment? Because what if that downward moment is representing you walking somewhere, and then, you know, you look down and, oh my god, what's that? You reach down to pick it up, 4 minutes 44 seconds, and you open it, and what if it's like I don't know why I'm seeing this, but it's like you don't open it, you're holding it like here, and it's like a gold coin, almost like this. Now that's interesting because look what I'm picking up. I collect these little things. It says you are unlimited, right? But they're kind of blocking that because they don't want you to focus too much on that. I'm also seeing a guitar pick, so that could be for somebody here. But anyway, so I don't know what to exactly make of that. It feels like it's something that's going to have different meaning for whoever you guys are. And when I say different meaning, I mean it's going to show up differently in your life because guess what? You've got different energy fields. You've got different soul curriculum. So even though we share these common dynamics, energetic dynamics at a higher level, so much so that we're part of a collective, how it manifests into the physical for us is going to be different. Yeah, I just got car mechanic again. So for somebody, that could be something. All right. So anything else before we drop some cards here? I don't know. Okay. So get those chores done. Oh, yeah. Let me just feel into November a bit because I felt October. Okay. Well, no. Let's go, keep going. Sensitivity. Thank you, guys. Oh. Comes as a 4 here. All right, let me contemplate on this for a second. All right, so in this month, you are also being asked to guide yourself, follow your guidance, because they're saying seeker, right? Oh, well, here the dowsing rod. So here you are seeking, kind of. But I'm also seeing a path is being blocked for you. Now, wow, look at this. Because now we have this X here and then we've got this X here and it says guidance. And there's the coin. But let me take a moment and hone in on this. And you can't see me, but the minute I said hone in on this, I put my hand up to my eye, my right eye. But it's kind of like if you're in the movies and you have a telecom, is that what they call it? I don't know. What do you call the things? Headset. And then you're like, you touch it and you're like, oh, come in, and you're communicating with somebody. So there's this idea that you're being advised to stick to your guns about something. So I'm not a fan of these types of moments personally, because I like things to be clear, like what do I do? Just let me know so I don't have to waste my time and I can go back to having fun. But these are moments where how you do things is important. And also, it's important that it comes from you. And so, and this doesn't mean, oh, well, I can't watch certain things. Like, for example, Jonelle's broadcast. As I always say, use your own discernment. But you can watch things, but you have to, and you can get advice and do all of this. But at the end of the day, you're being guided here in this particular moment to go your own route. And when I said go your own route, I think for some of you here, you're going to be advised to take a step back from a group that you're usually associating with. Remember I told you I see like this movement in October around the 3rd week going, some people going that way, like going straight into November. And then some people seems to like not take a step down, but almost like the energy goes down like this. So, and then I said, we don't know what that means. And in one explanation, they were giving an example of how it could be simply that you're walking with somebody or you're going somewhere you usually go and you see something glimmering. Oh my God, look, glimmering. And then you reach down and you pick it up, right? And we don't know what that is, but I thought I saw a gold coin or something like this. So for some people, taking a detour or doing something that is personally inspired, maybe we can say by your joy, by whatever, right? Taking the oh my gosh, I was going to say taking the path of your joy, but you heard me say wrath. And so the word that was coming through is wrath. So some of you may have to endure a little bit of wrath from somebody. Maybe if you let somebody down or someone's not happy that you're not joining them. But whatever this situation is where I see a little bit of a delineation, I want you to know that it's temporary. And so let's say if you're walking somewhere with somebody, just going with that same example, and they're like, come on. And you're like, wait, hold on. I want to tie my laces, or I see something on the ground. I just want to pick it up. What is this? Like, if they want to be, have a certain feeling about it, then that's them. But if you are not really committed to what it is that you feel is right, tying your laces, picking up whatever you think you saw, then you're going to be swayed by someone else who feels upset about it, right? Like, why are you doing that? Well, duh, I want to tie my laces. Whereas someone else may be like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to keep you back, so let me tuck my laces into my shoes. And we know that never works. So I hope that you get what I'm trying to say, because I know it's a little bit all over the place, but that's all right. God bless, God bless. So a theme that they're saying this month is to keep your wits about you, be mindful of your approach to certain things. And there's also a time where you're going to have to keep your head down a bit and focus on something. Because, you know, look at this gamble here. There's a little bit of a gamble situation. So, all right. Look at the 4 things that are being featured here. We have the sensitivity card, we've got gamble, we've got perception, and we have authenticity. And then we've got these 2 things saying the guidance for you literally is to go your own route. Don't just go with what's expected. Don't just go with what's being told to you. Don't just do, you know, because it's not going to help you. They're showing this next card right here. See, there's a little light there, there's a little light there, and there's a little light here. And you also see here's an X, and look at all these timelines, these potentials, these opportunities with all these arrows forming many and many, many, and many X's. And so they're trying to highlight that whatever it is that you're going to be being called to do, I would say in the month of October, but in this last quarter of the year in general, you're being advised to really tune into yourself because it matters. And here's why. If you're very sensitive, we're all sensitive to energy, we get it. If you're very sensitive, and we also just get energetically, we also gave an example of if you're sensitive to the point where you're too focused on what other people's happiness is and you'd rather tuck your laces in than tie it like you should, just so that you don't get them angry with you for taking time out that really is just like a few seconds, right? That's a form of sensitivity, right? So stand up for yourself, be aware, because there is something that you're going to have to do, and it's probably going to affect your finances, how you make ends meet, something about that. Just it's going to also be affecting in a big way the timeline that you find yourself on, because this is a choice point, it feels like. Now it's also very important because we have the perception here. And so as you guys know, if you follow this channel, we talk a lot about perception and how you increase your ability to make right perception, which is perceptions based on, which is seeing and interpreting your reality based on love, right? When your energy field is clear, when you're doing your shadow work, when you are minding the energetic input, so the people you hang around, the things you engage in, the media you watch, all of this stuff, as well as your body, exercising, all of that. And when you're careful of your energetic output as well, what you're putting out in the world, and because all of those things change the constitution of your energy field, right? You're a sovereign being, and in a sense you're very much a creator. The thing is, a lot of people don't realize that. They also don't realize that they create as they believe. But you're such a cute little projector where you're just projecting your stuff and your beliefs out onto the world and creating around you, that if you're not mindful, it's very, very easy to get yourself as a cute little projector hijacked. All it takes is for somebody to spin something, and now you're into a whole belief system, and now you're basically projecting for them. And so this is what people on earth do. Humanity projects, not of their own self, like their own desires. They project their fears from the conditioning. They project their ideas of not being lovable and loved and all of this from the conditioning. So in a sense, and you know, like I said, when you are not thinking and expressing and really understanding who you are, you will just project for other people, and you will move to their beliefs, and you will kill in the name of their beliefs, and you will you know, ostracize others. You will decide not to patronize certain shops and all this because that person's voting for this and that person's that and that. This is all not coming from you. It's your stuff that is being conditioned every day. So the question is, who do you want running the projection that's in your body. Like, who do you want? They're literally the projector. Who do you want running things? Who do you want creating your reality? Is it you? As you tap into yourself, look at your shadows, work through the stuff that you don't want to take responsibility for, and love yourself, right? And then thereby clean up your energy field and be able to be a better creator out in the world. Or would you like to just kind of blindly allow yourself to be informed about what's important, how to do things? Oh, and it's so obvious now. We can just track the different narratives. Right now, we're all seeing disclosure starting to happen. Disclosure referring to the entrance officially of the extraterrestrial awareness onto the planet. You know, like, it's just so phony, all of it, the way these things are done. So the first thing that you do when you're deprogramming is you disconnect from all of that stuff and you go inward, because it's very, very important. And this month is also important. We see this because it's helpful in your everyday life as well, whether it's because you have to sign contracts, whether it's because you're switching jobs, because of relationships, whatever it is. And in fact, look guys, I'm not even out here shuffling. Look at this, the next card, decision. I love that the heart is there, decision, right? So 16 minutes, 16 seconds. This month, there are going to be decisions that need to be made. And yes, it's good to get input and all of that, but you have to remember to go with your gut. But if you don't even know who you are, if you're not even in touch with yourself, and if you're not being honest with yourself about what it is that you're denying, if you're afraid of, for example, being alone, then, and if you're not recognizing or acknowledging the fact that when you get afraid of being alone, you start being reckless and you start attaching yourself to friends that aren't good for you, or partners that are definitely not good for you. If you're not willing to acknowledge that within you and acknowledge that it comes from a place of low self-worth and false beliefs that you'll never be loved and you might as well just go with what shows up, right? If you're not willing to see all that and you're willing to mask it and just say, oh, well, I just want to have a little fun, and, you know, just I said that it was 17 minutes, 17 seconds, then you're going to make decisions. You're going to see your world in that way, and you're going to make decisions in that way. And if that's okay with you, then who am I? Right? What are we out here doing? But the thing is that, sorry, I hope that's not too loud. The thing is that a lot of people don't like the results that they get. And instead of looking at themselves as the agent of their own reality and understanding that the choices that they made before, maybe even years before, are responsible for the moment that they're having now. It's easier for people to blame others. Like, you did this and you did that, and I wasn't able to achieve this because you, and you know. So it's just, you know how it goes, guys. All right, so three more cards from here. 1, 2, and 3. There's the Tower, yeah. So Spirit is saying, here's the good thing. Look, yeah, see the fickle card? Fickle. How often do we say that in real life, right? But here's the good thing. And look, weren't we just talking about dreaming? When we say dreaming, asleep, right? You're asleep until you wake up and take control of your life, right? But we see this here, and the good news here is that let's say that whatever this decision is, oh, this is great. I'm getting that if you find yourself making a decision that isn't what you want after all, I don't want to say make a mistake, because sometimes we just have to do the best that we can. And then when we start to see how it plays out, we're like, no, I don't want this anymore. I'm getting that there are ways to, that's interesting. There are ways to change the system, is what they're saying, and they're using it like that because they're teaching. They've been teaching me. My guide, listen, you guys don't know. You guys have some of your guides. They're just waiting for you to like talk to them. They're probably twiddling their thumbs. They'll train you. My guides have been training me a lot in working with reality and shifting and things like that, and I really try to share a lot of that information here. But sometimes there's just so much to share because it's a different kind of teaching. It's not like, hey guys, get your books out and your bags and blah 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 and turn to page. It's not linear like that. It's including sensations and visions, sleep, clairaudience and things like that. If you've, you know, whatever abilities you have, and you do all have abilities, by the way, putting you in the right place at the right time so that you can get all of this information. It's training, right? 20 minutes, 2 seconds, 2002. And they're saying this is a training that's going on worldwide right now. Yes. And so and the training right now, the focus right now is on shifting realities in a quantum way, from a quantum level, which basically means not shifting and changing your reality into physical, because that's not going to do anything. You're just now moving stuff around, right? It's about changing the entire thing, dissolving things all together, recreating, restructuring, jumping timelines, whatever you want to say. That's information that's coming in. And right now, for a lot of people, if that's something you enjoy, then go ahead and say yes please, and they'll make sure they bring more. But remember, you have to ask. You have to ask, because your free will is so, people don't realize that. Also, a lot of times we go through some stuff and we're like, God, where are you? No one, you didn't, we turn to our angels. You didn't just see me getting in trouble right there. I mean, you were right there. You didn't see that. You didn't think you should say something, right? They're always saying stuff, by the way. But there is a non-interference clause. And it's for good reason, because listen, you underestimate you 21 minutes, 21 seconds, because you're down here and you think you're helpless. When our guides look at us, they don't see us as this helpless person. And so, in fact, if you come and, when you have sessions with me and I look in your field, I'm not seeing the helplessness. I'm seeing the part of you that is in control, right? I'm seeing the part of you that has the prosperity, that has this, that has the knowledge. And the chasm between who you really are and then who you're being down here is so huge. And so we all understand that. We carry down here ideas of low self-worth and all of this, but it's so not true that even when you come into my space, I'm seeing it. It's like, oh yeah, that's actually not true, and let's just do a little shadow work, let's tweak some stuff. 22 minutes 11 seconds, right? And then all we're doing when we do that is we're removing your false beliefs, we're removing the blockages, removing the misperceptions, removing the sin. Not religious word, by the way. It just refers to a mistake in reasoning. It's all the same thing. These semantics that I'm saying. We're just removing it, giving you clarity so that you can see, oh, this is why I'm having these thoughts. This is why I'm feeling this way. This is why this is going on with my body. That's why I met with that person. There's always a reason. If you can't see it, it doesn't mean that, there's no answer. It means you've got to expand your awareness. And so the guides right now, they are so wanting to jump in and teach, heal, motivate. But if you don't ask for it, they're not going to give it to you. And like I said, I don't blame them, because think about it. With some of you guys, with some of your personalities, the first thing you might do when you go to the other side, you might get mad maybe and be like, why did you swoop in and help me here? I wanted to experience that. I wanted to feel what it feels like so I can challenge myself to do my best. And, they don't want any of that smoke. I mean, some of our friends don't even want to tell us when we're dating someone we shouldn't be dating, for example, because they don't even want the smoke. So you have to understand that you have to ask. If you'd like to change your circumstances, ask your higher self, ask your guardian angel. They're kicking it. They're just kicking it right there. Okay? And they're laughing. They're like, we're kicking it. Well, somebody's kicking something, okay? But there is so much help for you. Quick story. If you know me, then you know I love to stay at home. I'm sorry. That is, I know. Excuse me. I have Taurus, homebody Taurus, Hermit Virgo, right? And, Cancer, North Node. I'm all about the home. It's my castle. I'm an introvert. I enjoy my space. But my guides are like, you need to get up, you lazy bum. I added the last part. Usually it's just talking like, go exercise. It's so, it's never this fanfare like, hello, my child, you must rise from your bed. And it's not like that. It's just like, it's just so blasé sometimes. It's just like, go take a walk. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go take a walk right now. I want to just sit and do what I'm doing. I want to do these readings. I want to watch this show. I don't want to deal with that. And so, you know, they're of the mind. Hey, help me help you. What do you want? So I'm just like, okay, let's do this. How about you motivate me so that I can want to go out? Well, who am I talking to when I say that? Because they're like, you're not talking to me. Just kidding, they didn't say that. But who am I talking to? I'm really talking to my higher self. Hey, self, can you please give me a boost, right? Another lovely way of saying that is just, wow, I am powerful. I'm everything. So right now I'm being the aspect of myself that just wants to straight kick it. And doesn't like to go hiking, doesn't like to do, I mean, I like being there, but to get up and get out, and then I gotta go, you know, that's all that stuff is just like so much in between just the being there, right? But I know since I'm everything, there are aspects of me, whether you want to say there are different timelines of me, different potentials of me, whatever you'd like to say. If you saw the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and all of that, you get the idea of all these different selves, whatever you want to say. I can access those. And so that's what I did. As I said, that was 26 minutes, 26 seconds, and that's what I did. I said, you know what? Bump that. Because if I'm waiting for myself to want to get up and go do stuff like that, it's not going to happen. Because it's just not me. Like, right? So I just said, all right, so I'm going to call forth the aspect of me that loves this. I don't know where you are, what level of the field you are, what dimension, what universe, whatever. But I know that we share the same abilities, the same skills. And guess what? I wake up and the desire is there. All I need to do is now do it. But see, the breakdown, it's so much easier to do it because what has been removed, this is the miracle. A Course in Miracles tells us a miracle is a change in perception. Something is now the case that wasn't before, right? It's a miracle. That's what we think. But that's only because we're very limited in what we can see. If we could see the background and we see all the particles reconfiguring and the this and the that and how time and if time and blah, 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 right? Then we'd realize, oh, okay, duh, right? But the miracle is that, wow, I definitely didn't want to do any of this. And now I do. And it's not a struggle because I want to do it, right? Does that make sense? And it's not cheating, it's not anything because it's still me. It's just a different version of me. There's a really great book. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the lovely woman. Some of you guys would know her name who makes this, but she has a book called Change Me Prayers. I bought the audiobook and I listened to it. I remember I listened to it everywhere. So for example, I played it while I was in the shower, and it's basically her storytelling, telling about her life, but also interweaving how she used Change Me prayers. And it's something as simple as, change me, oh God, so that I may be the person who, boom. Look, I don't want to freaking go climb Mount Everest. It's just never going to be, I can't tell you guys how little of a desire. It's actually non-existent, the desire to do something like that. But there are some people who would love to do that, right? So if on some level I'm like, wow, I do have a desire, there's the desire, it means that it's possible for me, right? I have the desire, then, but it's not quite enough to get me there, but I actually want to get there, but I need a boost. Then go ahead, change me, O Lord, change me, O God, so that I may be someone who climbs Mount Everest, someone who desires to climb Mount Everest. Whatever, these are the ways that you create these quantum opportunities. Everybody, I just saw like a door or the key, what is it? Keyhole and a key. Just like that, right there, in my mind's eye. And so this is what I was going to say. Everybody wants to, you know, jump timelines and change realities and shift and leave the matrix and whatever people are saying these days. But they're making it so hard. It's very simple in a sense. It's you, and there are many, many versions of you. You're a multidimensional being, you're a creator being, and you have a misperception down here that things are linear. You're seeing me saying all of this and you're seeing it as play out as a movie, but actually it's not. It's just a series of now moments. That's it. So if there's a series of now moments, every now moment is a different one, and it's blank. It's absolutely blank. It has no meaning. It's like every moment, you know, the universe gives you a new sheet of paper, here and here and here and here and here and here. But what happens is, if you're not aware of that, you bring all of that, boom, you just carbon copy all your stuff from inside, all your fears, all your this and that, your suppositions about the world. You stamp it right onto the now moment, all the emotions. And what you're doing is you're projecting that out onto the universe, and the universe is going to give you what you want. But you don't want another heartbreak, but you haven't cleared up the misperception that is keeping that heartbreak energy with you. And so when you keep stamping your now moments, you're projecting heartbreak, 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 heartbreak. It doesn't matter how many dates you go on, how many boyfriends or girlfriends you have, you're going to keep recreating or remaking that situation. And you're like, what am I doing wrong? I've done everything. You have not done the one thing that you need to do, which is to dissolve the issue on the inside. The issue, my friend, is never going to be anything more than a misperception, because we're pure consciousness. And so if there are any blockages or any kinks anywhere, it's going to be of consciousness. It's going to be a thought kind of thing. So your thought is jacking up the system. And at the core of it, our core thought, our misperception that jacks everything up, is the belief in separation. It's the opposite of I am, right? It's duality, it's other, it's all of this stuff. But when you remember I am, that you are everything. You're me, you're these cards, and then your perception shifts and you realize, oh shoot, this is my world. And the part of me that is trying to push me to step more into my birthright as a creator is manifesting in my world as what? Jonelle Bean, hey, this video, right? It's kind of your world, and yeah, I'm, you know, the part of you and me, and we're all one. The part of you that is trying to push you somewhere is manifesting in this video. It's giving you the key. The key is what? Shift your perception in order to get to where you'd like to be. We're graduating. We're graduating from thinking we need to put one foot in front of the other to get somewhere. No, all you need to do is to realize that you're not actually here. You're everywhere. And so once you do that, what's to stop you from just being here, right? You close your eyes, you disconnect from your belief in the reality of where you are. And you start to believe in the reality of where you want to go. And that's a process that here on earth may be a little bit challenging, 33 minutes, 33 seconds, for us at first, simply because of how much garbage we have that tells us that we can't do that, right? As simple as, you know, you want to change something in your life, and the first thing you're going to do is look to the material. Well, I can't move that. Well, I can't do that. I have to file this paperwork and I have to do that, or I'm never going to be debt free. I'm going to be, how can I? Oh, well, if you're already on that cross, then you're never going to get to where you need to go, you know? But the person who realizes that, especially if they're tired of their life and they're tired of being the victim and the this and that, and they're tired of the story, they get rid of all that very quickly. And look what happens. Magic. Miracles, because they're not attached to all that stuff. You will always create what you believe in. The attention you give to something just reinforces it and makes it stronger in your life. All right. And don't get fooled by saying, well, I didn't ask for this. Yeah, you didn't at your conscious mind, but somewhere in your energetic field, there are beliefs, there are energy frequencies that are calling that in, right? Abraham Hicks talks about that very well. They talk about how you're always broadcasting more than one stream at a time, right? So if you want to know why you're getting what you're getting, because you surely didn't ask for that at a conscious mind level, it makes sense that you're going to have to look inside. But, do your shadow work. I'm big on shadow work. And, of course, we do that here if you'd like to do it together with love and a hot beverage, of course, right? But if you're still stuck in your victim story and it's like, well, they did that and that did it, blah, 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 again, it's understandable that we must spend time identifying with our pain for a little bit, so until we get to feel it's been witnessed, right? But when you're spending years and years and years and whole cultures spent in victim consciousness and building more thought and structures and more culture and whole societies and economies based on just this unhealed wound that you just haven't done your inner work, what are we doing? You can see how we're so outside of our nature, of our birthright, and now we're just victims constantly being hurt by somebody, attacked by someone, dispossessed by somebody, you name it. And you will continue to have that experience in your life. Someone may not even be victimizing you, but you're going to see it as that. And you're going to recreate that. For who? You. And then you're going to pass it down to your children, and you're going to model it for the people in your society and the people you go with every day. Someone's got to stand up and make the change. And if you're still waiting to be inspired by someone outside, then you really have to be careful, because based on how you are feeling, if you're having a bad day and you're in your feelings, you're going to be inspired by the wrong person. You might be inspired by the person who's actually moving with anger and wants to do this and wants to get their money back, and they want, you're going to be like, yeah. But if you are maybe feeling a different type of way in your energy field that day, you'll hear that person. You're like, God, they're so angry. They're ranty. Why are they ranting so much, right? I'm inspired by this guy who's able to keep his calm. They're not changing. You are. At the end of the day, every time you spend time outside of you, you're not spending time on the inside. And if you get caught up with what you see in your bank account, in your medical reports, on your mortgage, in your friend circles, and who said that and who said that, yeah, those are real in the 3D. And if you choose to live in a 3D life and according to that linear cause and effect and consequences and judgment and punishment, and oh, you're great today, but tomorrow we hate you, or you're only great if you do this, conditionality, then by all means keep doing what you're doing, which is taking cues from the physical. But if you're on that quantum situation, you understand, you don't confuse the levels. You understand, oh, whatever I see in this physical environment, if I can see it, if I can smell it, if I can taste it, if I can whatever, I know there's nothing here for me to work with. I'm just looking, and the only thing I need to ask myself in this now moment of these things around me, the people who are visiting and calling and texting and the job offers I'm getting or the lack of a job or whatever, the only thing I need to ask is, do I want this to be a part of my reality? If the answer is no, immediately disconnect from it. You're disconnecting from the reality of it. Does it mean it's going to disappear right away from your life? No. But what it does mean is it's already gone in the non-physical, which is the real now moment. The physical that you see is only a past moment, and that's because it's a manifestation here on earth. Anytime you make, not create, because we make stuff. Anytime we make things, there's a gap in time. We make in the non-physical. Takes a little time depending on who you are. Sometimes it could be 2 weeks, sometimes it could be years, sometimes it's the next day. Takes a little time, and then boom, it comes into your physical, right? And that little buffer is kind of cool. It's annoying for a lot of us because we let's call it divine timing, right? But it's annoying because we want what we want, right? But it's helpful because it gives you time to tweak. And when this thing starts to make its way into the physical, you start to see signs of it. You overhear someone talking about whatever it is. They don't even know you. You don't know them. You overhear it. You see it on TV. You start noticing it around you. Somebody comes and they offer it. Whatever. You see a painting of it. Whatever it is, whatever that reality is, it's going to start trickling in. And if you don't want it anymore, if there's something you'd like to tweak, you go ahead. You just close your eyes and you feel into what it feels like to have what it is you want now. So anytime you're doing that in your now moment, you're literally saying, this is what I want. And they're like, thank you. And it's put into production. If you order a t-shirt from online, you order it, it's coming. But it's not there right now. They just got your order. Now it's in production, it's being processed, then it's shipped, then it's got to come to be delivered to you, right? So think about it logically. And so when you get into this place of being wise about it, you understand you're very, very powerful. You are so powerful. You are such a creator that you literally created a reality around you. If you don't like it, change it. If you don't like what you have, change your beliefs. So change your belief. And you do that by disconnecting from your belief that what you're seeing around you is real. Because at best, it is just a snapshot of what was in the actual now moment. Just as you would not confuse a cute little lamb with a dead piece of meat on your, grilled and everything or whatever, on your plate. They're two different, they're both lamb, but only one of those is alive. You can work with, right? It's a cute little lamb chop. Well, not the lamb chop. I mean, the lamb, right? So be mindful. Don't confuse the levels. What you see in the physical reality is a gone moment. It's just there to show you what you've been up to in past now moments. If you don't like it, get to work in a non-physical and start affirming that the conditions are different. And I'm not saying empty affirmations like, wow, I'm married and I'm rich and no, you have to really, yes, that's part of it, but you have to do the work. That means the next time you try to come with any of your self-defeatist attitudes, your self-criticisms, all of that stuff, you have to put a stop to it. If you have friends and family who are contrary to what it is that you're trying to do, put a stop to it. This is why you don't tell people what it is that you're trying to do. You move in silence. You move in silence and you start to live as if it's here. And it's very, very important. And it's such a shame that, well, these are the kinds of things that were taught to people in the esoteric schools back in the day, right? And there are many more things that have not even made their way to the public because people aren't ready for it. They won't understand. A lot of people will not understand this. And that's because the programming is so, so deep. And sometimes to shift from A to Z and skip all those letters and the breaking down and the deprogramming can be very destabilizing for people. And the best way, as I always say, is to do your inner work. Because the only thing that is literally stopping you from seeing the reality of who you are is your poor belief in self. And when I say your, I mean me too. I just happen to be giving the information today, right? Me too. We're all working on it. I won't show you my room with some of the Post-its I have, the little reminders, but but I'll tell you, it makes all the difference. But why I said it's a shame is because these are things that it could be so helpful to have an actual teacher there with you, like they did when they had people into schools and such like that. But now, we're just doing our best. But wait a minute. You do have a teacher. It's look to your left and look to your right. Your guides are literally there. They're itching, just itching to help. When I ask for stuff, boom, next day, it's coming. I'm like, it's so legit, guys, that I can be like, guys, I want to learn how to do kickboxing, for example. And I just let it go. I'm like, guys, please, can you please help me to learn some kickboxing? I'd like to become better. 44 minutes, 44 seconds. And then I just go about my business. I'm not out here like trying to do anything too much, because that makes no sense. Imagine you just called your beloved, because we love them, personal assistant. You're like, Janice? They're like, yeah. Yeah, bring me some resources for kickboxing. I'm kind of interested in that. Okay, no problem, boss. All right, bye, Janice. And then Janice has it on your desk soon. I guarantee you will start getting stuff about kickboxing. You just have to ask. You have to ask. There's actually a book called Hiring the Heavens. I don't know if you guys, some of you may know this book already, or if you bought it, I don't know. But I would suggest that you go check it out. But again, your girl, that's me. I'm here to tell you these things are free. Free 99, right? I was just telling someone today that you can do all of these things. And I'm always of the mindset, as we know famously has been said, all of this you can do and more, right? And you know, and it's not to put myself out of business or whatever, but I believe in people understanding the reality of stuff. It's like, hey, you can do this. Don't be duped into subservience or thinking that this stuff is not for you or only the chosen. Like, no, you choose. You're the creator. You choose. You choose. You want to do this. You ask for it, and then you allow your guides to bring you the information, and you get started. But one thing that I do know is that we are sent to people, though, to help us at certain times, because yes, you can do it, but sometimes in the now moment where you are not, you may need it, but you may not yet have the knowledge manifested for you here. For example, can you become a mechanic? Heck yeah, you can. You literally might be like, some of you might be like, oh, I could never do that. Oh, stop it. Go on YouTube, go get in a class, get a book, find some, hot mechanic guy or girl or whoever you want to stand by you and show you how to do stuff. I guarantee you can learn it. You can learn anything these days with the right resources and the right attention and the right attitude, right? So you can become a mechanic, but maybe your car is broken down right now. And right now you don't know how to fix a car. So maybe you have to call a mechanic to help you out. But you best get started learning how to fix a car because you own a car. Does that make sense? So if you need assistance with your energy field, hi, and things like that, you can call people like me, or like some of you actually do this for yourself already. So you can call yourself, right? Or other people and to assist you. But there are so many things that you could already be doing now for free, right? For free and for fun. It's fun. It's exciting because you start to see your power. And the more you start to do all of this stuff, and I always say start with your shadow work. Literally, it's just you. So you got to look at you, right? But the more you start to do that, the more you start to wake up and you see your power. You're like, oh my God, I have been duped. And a lot of people get angry, right? They want to tear down systems. They want to do that. But listen, we're not out here about that. What we're out here about is start getting to know yourself. Who are you being? Why? What's going on in your energy field? What can you do? What brings you joy? Instead of taking it to a dark place and an angry place, getting angry at people taking advantage of you, because that's what's happening on this planet. Humanity is being taken advantage of, right? But you can't, what can you say if you're sleeping? If you're choosing not to look at certain things because you're just kind of going with the system, how can you be mad about this, right? Because on some level of the field, there is consent that you're giving away. You're consenting when you make certain actions. Omissions to act is still actions. And so that's why it's very important to kind of think to yourself, what brings you joy? Your joy is what's going to break you out of things, because your joy is tied to your heart space. And when your heart starts to come online, you start to care about yourself. You love yourself. You give to yourself. And guess what? When you start to do that, you don't want to see other people in pain either. And then you start to question the systems, because people are in pain and you're in pain. And what was making sense yesterday, and when you were just going along with the programming, doesn't make any sense today. And you're being built left and right, and you're buying into things that don't make sense, right? And so this is what it means to really awaken. And to awaken just means what? To heal your perceptions, change your perceptions. And at the end of the day, and I'll always say this, the main thing that you are misperceiving is the idea that you are separate from source. So you are basically suffering abandonment wounds lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, because there's this deep core belief in the programming that you have inside that you're not lovable. If you have that crack, anything can come in. If you have that crack, oh, I'm not lovable, you're moving on a core belief that now you have to be something. This is conditional love. You have to be something in order to get love. And you're not getting love, so you must be not being awesome. And you can't sit with that reality in your mind and think that you're not awesome, so you're going to deny. You're going to create a schism in your mind, where some people are awesome, or there's a state of being of awesomeness, and there's a state of being of not awesomeness. And which one do you fear the most? Not being awesome, because that's what you fear is the reason why God rejected you and you were abandoned. And so now you go out into the world carrying this wound, and you're denying a whole bunch of parts of yourself, because you're in a society that defines to you what awesome is. Hey, you've been in many different lifetimes with different societies contradicting each other. Every society that you go into with every lifetime, you get different rules about what is awesome. And so here you are, operating, moving to the tune of a fake society, culture, misinformed, right? All these ideas and philosophies and religious things, and there's just so much falseness amidst beauty, right? There's so much beauty in some of these religions, but there's so much man has been involved in it that it's just so it's very hard to find anywhere on this planet where there's a pristine sense, because there's so much power and money behind a lot of these things. And so what's happening is, if you're moving around, lifetime after lifetime with this false belief that you were kicked out of heaven, and that you're not, and there's a reason why, you made the reason be because you're not good enough, and doggone it, that's my biggest fear, that it's real, that I am not good enough. And that's the reason why. So now you're going to go through every lifetime trying to be superior or feeling inferior. And in fact, in the same lifetime, you're going to sometimes feel awesome and not feel awesome. And you're going to shun people who are not awesome. And if you're very rigid and you want to please so much, you're going to do what society asks you to do. If they tell you to go kill that person, you're going to go kill them. If they tell you to go post about that person, you're going to go post it. If they tell you not to patronize this store, you're going to go not patronize this store. And then you enter these big social media sites and the Facebooks and all of that, where thoughts and false things are all over the place, right? And human beings want to belong. So why would they not play by the rules of their society? But a person who understands that they are one, I am, they understand the truth. And the truth is, there was never a separation. You are. You already are. When you reach that state of awareness, you understand that what you see outside of you, everything is God, everything is the kingdom. You are the kingdom. That person's the kingdom. This cute little puppy is the kingdom. And this cute little fox or cat, or I don't know, God bless, is the kingdom, because the energy, everything is it. So if the kingdom is here, if heaven is here and all this, why don't I see it? Because your lens is messed up, right? This is why we do the inner work. the inner work, the shadow work. We look at the things we don't want to look at. What's your fear? I'm not good enough. Why? Because God left me. Hey, you were never left. There was no separation. That's the big lie here. And that's why we always say when we're deprogramming and we're learning, we are taking away the meanings that we've made. You look at a car, two cars, and you're going to think one is better. Why? It's shinier. Who says a shinier car is better? All those commercials, right? That's very easy. People will tear up a whole stadium and kill each other because their team is playing. What are you talking about? What team? You mean the teams that abuse the players, abuse the cheerleaders, mislead fans at times? What are we talking about? Who's making the money here? Yeah, making money, but then being beat up. So there's always a different way to look at these things. And yes, it could be fun and you're getting joy, but always remember, you have to be mindful about where you are attaching. What are you identifying with? And why? Now, if you choose to just be like, oh, well, whatever, I just want to be and I just want to enjoy my life, then that is a choice and that's fine. But I'm speaking to those who are like, well, I actually want to know who I am underneath all of this conditioning. And the short answer is you're awesome, you're pure consciousness, you're love, and you're just having a physical experience. Many people may say it's a game. It probably is, right? But whatever it is, that's all the land of discourse. And we discourage discourse on this channel because it makes it too complex. No matter what the thing is, whatever's happening and the reason why we're here, at the end of the day, if you're having ups and downs in moods, if you're struggling in your daily life, if you're arguing, if you're hating on yourself, if you're blah, 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 what's going on inside? So do you have a practical thing to work on? And it's looking at how you can love yourself more. The way to undo this misperception is just to accept yourself. Because that was the whole reason why we hate on ourselves and we allow ourselves to go with the flow of things. Lifetime after lifetime of conditioning built upon an idea of fear that we're not lovable. Seemingly reinforced every time we come down here and we experience bad things, right? And we want to belong. So we have this void where we want to belong because we feel it's all abandonment stuff. Go study the symptoms of abandonment. This is what the whole societies are experiencing. And fear. And so we give our power away. But if you're part of this channel, then we're trying to get people to unplug from what? The false belief that they are not lovable. And plug into what? Themselves. When you plug into yourself, you realize, I'm not that bad. And even if I've done bad things, I don't even know why. Was that part of my soul contract and I had an agreement with another being to have that experience for each other for learning? There's just no way for you to know. So why are you out here hurting yourself and critiquing yourself, and then on top of that relying on the beliefs and the ideas that other people have fed you and they don't even know what's going on? At the end of the day, you have to be kind to yourself. Go with the simplest thing. The simplest thing is the truest thing, and it's true in every circumstance. Whether you are moving in this culture or this religion or this philosophy or this social group or this community, whatever you're choosing to move in, be kind. Because all the rest is just noise. It's just noise generated by people who think they know stuff. And a lot of those people are not kind people. They're not in touch with their heart. They have not looked at their shadows. They're running left and right from themselves. And so discernment, with a capital D, discernment is needed. And as we talked about before, divine heart, divine mind, divine will. Your divine heart is the heart that is based on oneness. I am. I am all of this. So what am I doing out here with the shenanigans? I have to love myself. Make it a practice to accept yourself, right? When your heart chakra is activated and you're doing your energy work, you're clearing your field, you're disconnecting from all this crazy beliefs and stuff, and you're getting back down to yourself. What's animating you now without being impeded is your own energy, right? And it has its own thoughts, it has its own wisdom. It's you, I promise you're going to be fine, right? But your divine heart, when your heart is activated and it's in the right place, guess what is now flavored with the proper lens? Your ability to see, your mind, right? You can have a great mind. You can have an awesome third eye chakra that's super open. But if you don't have the heart, you're just another smart person or just another person with metaphysical abilities, but you're running amok out here because your heart is not connected there. And then divine will. What is the divine will? It's, well, for the good of everybody. It's your desire for unity, for health and well-being for all. And if somebody just thought, well, we can't ever have health and well-being for all because, well, I'm going to stop you there. That's the programming, right? And if you're so curious to find out, well, how can we do that with all the diversity? This is a moment where you start your journey and you start looking. I guarantee you that when you start looking into your energy field, you will see that you got enough on your plate to start working on. So before we start going outside, we go inside and we start breaking down the stuff, the beliefs, the trauma that leads us to be so defensive, so angry, so bitter, so rage-filled, so ranty, so whatever you want to call, right? So anyway, long story short, in the month of October, right? What's October? Just kidding. In the month of October, you're going to be asked to go inward. Your guides are, well, the guides, everyone's guides right now are assisting with a lot of manifestation work, quantum stuff. They're training, and you're getting your training as you rest as well. But you know, wouldn't it be great and actually pretty fun to participate? So just ask your guides, hey guides, can you teach me please? Thank you. And then go about your day. It doesn't have to, you don't have to set up an altar. You don't have to, dear God, you don't have to make sacrifices and all this stuff. I know a lot of beliefs and religions and even indigenous belief, whatever, you guys do what you want, and ancestral worship. And anytime you're going into worship territory, get out, get out, get out, get out. Get out, okay? Just don't think about those things. And the reason why is because you're programmed to think and believe in a God as being better than you. And so you're worshiping. You don't know what you're being trained to worship. Okay? You go inside. God is within. God is within. I'm just saying. People out here getting caught up. And think for yourself also, because right now, as you know, we're going to be seeing in the age of Aquarius a lot of talk about aliens and ETs and all of that stuff. Listen, this isn't our first rodeo. People are still struggling with different races out here, different genders. So what are they going to do? They're going to look to the TV to now tell them about these beings. These beings have been around a long time. A lot of you share the same DNA. Listen, we're out here just be normal. And when it comes to hearing about all that stuff, you just turn it off and you ask your guides. Some of them are on your team are not what we would call human, right? And you just ask them, guides, I'd like to learn for reals. For once in my life, I'd like to learn about something on this planet that is not training me. You know, that somebody isn't telling me about it and then scaring me about it and then charging me to protect me from it. So please I'm going to go about my business and you teach me. Okay? And thank you. And get on with your business. Don't get into conversations with other people. Oh, well, I heard this. Now you're just creating a reality. So take your attention away and focus on where you look inside, because you have enough on your plate right now. This is what I'm saying. Make time for fun follow your joy. Your joy, your joy, your joy, your joy is your divine heart. That's going to literally be what gets you the fastest route to your real self. You must follow what brings you authentic joy, because that's real. All this other stuff is not real. I bet you a lot of the things that you think you enjoy are not real. You don't really enjoy it. So follow your joy so that you can build that heart. Okay? Yeah, so that's your assignment. All of our assignments for the month of October. Of course, keep going. Disconnect from what everyone else is telling you to do and watch and blah, blah, blah. You'll see it's a lot of BS. And radical self-love. What does that mean? It means anytime that you have something negative come up about yourself in your mind, just be like, oh, okay, I could see why I might think that, because in this society, these qualities are venerated while these qualities are not. And whatever I did or whatever I look like or whatever fall within the category of what is not cool or accepted. And that's the only reason why I'm crapping on myself right now. Oh, I did this and I made this person cry. Oh my God. Okay, I understand and I feel bad. Okay, whatever. But I'm not a bad person. You have to get yourself out of that false reality. And really, only you can do it. You know, you can come to me, I'll gas you up. I'm really great at gassing other people up. Meanwhile, I'm in a fetal ball at my own house, like, like, I need gas, right? But you just have to be mindful that you're a creator being. You're very powerful. And as we did on one of our, my team and I, spirit team, as we made one of the posts before, who can convince a sovereign being that they are not sovereign or that they're not in control except by tricking them? That's the trick. The trick is the trick. The trick is tricking you into believing you're not sovereign, you're not creator, you're not powerful. If you want to see the evidence of it, just look around you. If you don't like what you see, you got to go inside and tweak your beliefs so that you can change what you're seeing. And let that be a lesson to you. Be mindful of who you put around you, what news you're watching, what books you're reading, and what it's telling you about your identity and the way of the world. If you're not able to be ideologically flexible, then work on your ideological flexibility first. If you're ideologically flexible, you can read and look at everything you want and blah, 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 but you think for yourself and you'll make a decision for yourself, and you're mindful of the rhetoric that's around you. But most people are not that way, and so, we know how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I have to do other stuff. There's so much stuff. And if you'd like to work more personally with me, boink, you let me know. We do everything. We do energy work, teachings, all that stuff. And until then, God bless you guys and have the best October ever. And I will resume, I believe, with Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. I think I did the Gemini reading last. Sorry, I've just been super busy at work, so I've been taking, a little bit long. I've been doing overtime and such. So, but I will be back with the Astro Reels. All right. Bye, you guys. Love you.